We did it! The long wait is almost over. On September 4th, 2025, Team Cherry will finally release Hollow Knight Silksong into the wild. But let me guess, this news has you itching to return to the original, or maybe even dive in for the very first time. If that's the case, you'll definitely want these crucial tips to help you through one of the toughest Metroidvanias around. So without further delay, here are 12 tips to get you started in Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight features a unique health restoration mechanic centered around a shared resource called Soul. You gain Soul by striking enemies, and it can be spent either to heal a point of health or to cast powerful spells you unlock later in the campaign. Success comes from balancing this resource wisely. Don't hoard it only for healing, but also don't blow it all on spells that you don't really need. Many players make the mistake of treating Hollow Knight too much like Castlevania, focusing only on striking forward or upward, and not enough like DuckTales. Your down slash is one of your most useful tools. While in the air, you can pogo off enemies or hazards, letting you land quick hits while staying out of range of counterattacks. It's especially effective against shielded enemies. You bait their block, then jump above and strike where their shield doesn't protect. The down slash is also useful for traversal. You can pogo off spikes to reach areas you thought might require a double jump, or use it on the pink mushrooms in the fungal wastes to bounce higher. It's important to learn how many hits it takes to kill different enemies. This is crucial when pogoing off them. If they die too soon, you might fall into danger. It also helps prevent button mashing, which can leave you stuck attacking when you should be dodging or jumping. Early on, head left after dropping into the well to find Cornifer, your map-making buddy throughout the game. Buy his map of the area right away, but don't stop there. Once you've saved up 340 Geo, return to Dirtmouth to purchase the Quill, 120 Geo, and Wayward Compass, 220 Geo. The Quill updates your map when you rest at a bench, and the Compass, a one-notch charm, shows your current position, an absolute must for first-timers. You'll save a lot of time wandering around lost in Hollow Knight if you purchase some of the tokens from Iselda's shop that you can manually place on the map. Whenever you come across an area you can't reach, pull up the map, drop a marker, and that way you'll have a quick and easy visual guide of where you should come back to once you get a new power. You won't see any yellow paint or obvious signposting in Hollow Knight, though you will see literal signposts that you'll have to decipher the meanings of. Instead, you'll have to be on the lookout for visual and audio cues to help navigate Hollow Knight's world. For example, if you see these scraps of paper on the ground, follow them to find Cornifer, who will also be singing this particular song when you're in the same area as him. You can also know when there's a grub hidden nearby by listening for this audio cue. Traps in Green Path can be spotted by looking for their mouths poking out of the floor, and by an audio cue right before they trigger. And finally, be on the lookout for these signs that point you towards benches, stag stations for fast travel, and shopkeeps. Things are constantly changing in the main town of Dirtmouth, with new NPCs stopping by and new shops opening up at various points of the adventure. So you should always make it a priority to check back in whenever you're nearby, or when you unlock a new stag station, since you can quickly travel there and back and continue exploring without wasting much time. Whenever you're in town, make sure to talk to every NPC to get new dialogue and potentially move along certain side quests, purchase new maps from Iselda, or charms and anything else that Sly has to offer. Beyond that, also make sure to make regular stops by the Grub Father whenever you find new grubs. You'll get Geo for every grub you find, and you'll get special rewards at 5, 10, 16, 23, 31, 38, and 46 grubs. If you find yourself with a lot of Geo that you want to unload, and you should do this regularly to make death less stressful, you should make trips over to Charm Lover Salubra to buy whatever charms or charm slots you can afford. Hollow Knight is designed in such a way that there's almost always something else you can be doing, another path you can be exploring, if the main path proves to be too difficult. Eventually, you will have to overcome certain tough obstacles, but by exploring other areas first, you can find upgrades or charms that will make the fight even more manageable, giving you the extra push that you may need to overcome it. One unique aspect about Hollow Knight's combat is that there is a sort of recoil when your sword makes contact with an enemy that will push you backwards slightly. This is what allows you to pogo off enemies when you use your down slash, but it can also work to your disadvantage if you don't keep it in mind when you horizontally slash an enemy. In situations like this, when there's an enemy on a small platform and a pit behind you, you're best off using your ranged magic to blow them away rather than to try and slash them, only to get bounced back, causing you to fall into a pit. There are secrets aplenty in Hollow Knight, and some aren't very obviously telegraphed, so if a wall looks suspicious, hit it. If a floor rumbles when you walk across it, use your Desolate Dive to break through it, and even if a wall doesn't look suspicious, you should probably just hit it anyway. It can be easy to just rely on the same charms that have served you well throughout a good portion of the game, but you'll never know how much easier things could have been if you don't experiment with other charms in your inventory. Some quick recommendations include Shaman Stone, which increase the damage of your spells, making them go from hitting like a truck to hitting like a freight train. Grub Song, a low impact charm that gives a small amount of soul whenever you get hit, giving you the opportunity to heal even when you take damage. Quick Focus, which halves the time it typically takes to heal. And Long Nail, which increases the range of your attacks. And finally, understand that healing is very risky. Without a charm to either protect you during the animation or speed it up, healing 1 point of health will often take much longer than you can spare, considering how aggressive most enemies and bosses in this game are. So either make sure that you're going into a boss fight with Quick Focus, Baldur's Shell, or Stalwart Shell so that you can find more opportunities to heal mid-fight, or wait until there's a lengthy pause in the action, such as when you deal enough damage to a boss to stun them, and use that opportunity to heal as opposed to deal more damage. And those are 12 tips to help you get started in Hollow Knight. Thanks for watching, and for everything else, keep it here with IGN.